And hello again. So this is take 2 for Dr. Din and one of my favorite pelvic pros, Nicole. And Nicole is here with her favorite part of the body, the pelvic girdle, the floor, the muscles, everything is there. Guys, so why is pelvic rehab so important? Why is the pelvic floor so important? Today we're going to, without any further delay, I am going to start throwing some questions at our pelvic pro. Any questions you have, please feel free to ask in the chat. Wow, you already have like a whole bunch of people watching. And any questions about urination, urinary incontinence, sexual dysfunction, dryness, menopause, birth of a child, painful sex. You know, listen, that's a very important problem for a lot of women. And so the root to all the pelvic problems sometimes lay in very simple things, and there are certain simple things that you can do on your own at home with the assistance of some guidance. You will be able to preserve your pelvic health for much longer.
My favorite part is obviously the pelvic floor and the pelvis, so my muscles inside.
Okay, so can you tell me
yes,
some of the important holes that we see over there? You know, all your holes. This looks very holy. I mean, holy. We're very holy down there.
There's your urethra.
This is like where the pee comes from. This is where the baby comes from, and this is where the poop comes from.
Yes.
So there is a pee hole, there is a baby hole, and there is a poop hole.
Yep.
All right. So now let's go towards
bottom of your spine, your tailbone, coccyx.
So this is the back.
Girdle.
This is the front.
This is the front,
and this is the back, and this is where you sit on.
Yes. Your tailbone, your coccyx.
And this is where your butt sits on.
You can see over here all these pelvic floor muscles, which can contribute to pelvic floor tightness.
So what is this? What is this thing?
This is just the bottom of
the sacral.
Coccyx. Sacrum's over here. So this right here, if you see where the muscles are, it can cause tailbone pain because when these muscles are tight, it'll have like a pulling right here, and this pulling will cause tension on your tailbone and bringing it down.
So the pulling
and the tension you'll feel in your tailbone due to tight back pelvic.
So if somebody has, for instance, constipation,
yes,
and they're unable to relax this area,
yes, well, the tightness in this area is what is causing the constipation. Or if you have constipation for another issue, the pressure that the constipation brings can cause pelvic floor dysfunction.
Yeah, of course. You know, one of the ways they told us to revive somebody who is having arrhythmia or about to die, like it's called a digital rectal exam.
Really?
So you do a digital rectal, and it actually helps stimulate, just like mouth-to-mouth resuscitation.
I've never heard of that before.
Yes,
so
DRE. Now you know the secret. So if you ever want to revive someone, you can also do a digital rectal exam, which is like but still, if it saves somebody's life.
You know what? You might have just saved someomes life with this interesting.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know who it will help, but it can help.
It help someone.
Yes. You know. So. Show me the inside. So tell me what are the ways. So urinary incontinence.
Yes.
How would you say it? Your pelvic floor. You know, just explain a little bit of pelvic floor.
We're falling off the back here. So here's our
now she's undressing the pelvis that she has.
So here are your pelvic floor muscles in here. So what we have is the front pelvic floor muscles and the back pelvic floor muscles. Your pelvic floor works really as like a canopy to hold all your organs in here. So your sexual organs and things of that nature are right here.
This is the part where it all cooks.
Yeah. So the front pelvic floor muscles and the back pelvic floor muscles, when you do a contraction, they kind of come together like this. So they're like two triangles and they come together like this. If you have tightness, you could have tightness in the front of your pelvic floor, so you could be tight over here. You could have tightness in the back, and these things can cause urinary incontinence, sexual dysfunction, pelvic pain, back pain,
abnormal labor.
Yeah, it could actually absolutely affect your labor. If you're unable to relax your pelvic floor, you may need a C-section to safely get your baby out. There's so many things that this plays into, and it's really important that you really ultimately understand how to manage your pressure, and managing your pressure is going to help you manage your pelvic floor.
Okay, and can I bring you your organs? I mean, not your organs, the organs of. Can we name this pelvis?
Her name's Penelope.
Penelope. Can we bring Penelope's uterus and bladder?
We can.
And place it, and you can also bring the dinosaur for your son, so he knows that you're here. And yes, and okay, so Nicole is back with Penelope's. Now, what is that? Okay, so this is like, I see like a bladder type thing.
Your rectum.
Oh, this is the rectum, the poop hole, bladder.
I'm missing a piece of it.
Yeah, the bladder is not wearing its hat.
If you do that, it starts to feel this is not a hip replacement. This is the pelvis, but issues with your hips can cause tightness on your pelvic floor, which can lead to other dysfunctions. So you really need to work on opening your hips, doing hip flexor exercises, making sure you have flexibility in them, because again, your hips are here, right? So if there's any pelvic floor dysfunction, it could be pulling on your hips, the way you walk. It could affect really everything, honestly. So here are her organs.
So in the front is. So it is good to imagine and kind of know where different structures are placed.
Yeah.
See, she has to assemble and disassemble this thing several times, because that's how she explains to people.
Okay, well, we'll just do one at a time here. So what?
We got like a wishing bottle. I don't know. It is something, but anyway, you're getting some stuff. My mother has a hip replacement. All right. What do we need to do after childbirth? Why is pelvic health so important? What to do? So we are definitely. I have these questions ready for her, but let's look at her. Let's stay the course and see like what. So what is in the front first? So all these are like present, but what is right in the front, and then so what lays on top?
I know I'm having
so this
a
is
hard time right now.
So this is the rectum. I see that you've placed it. Okay, so there's and where is, and then the bladder is right under.
There. It's not really fitting in today. I don't know why. We're having some pelvic floor issues.
She needs to relax the pelvis.
Yeah, it needs to just relax.
It has to relax she has to relax the pelvis. But anyway, so what we're trying to say is that there are a bunch of organs that are kind of right on top of each other, and they're like kind of together. They're bunched together in this small, tiny little space. So what are the things that we can do? So Nicole is going to demonstrate some of the exercises that we need, and you can all start doing some of these exercises at home. But her main thing that every time I ask a question, she just tells me to think about breath. And that is and that is like one super easy thing to do. So Nicole, tell me some of the exercises, some of the breath work that you would recommend, and we can all practice doing them together, and I'll just ask some of the questions with you.
So your breath work is the most important, because your breath work is what's going to regulate the pressure in your body and in your pelvic floor. So when we have dysfunction, likely it's caused by some pressure or tension on the pelvic floor. A better way to get a better assessment is if you see a pelvic floor physical therapist. They could do a manual assessment with you and see what the issues are going in there. So the most important thing is your breath work. So diaphragmatic breath work is the most important. It's like 360 breath. So on your inhale, you're going to be focused on inhaling and allowing all air to come in and fill up your back body, and it will relax your pelvic floor. And on the exhale, you really want to think about everything coming back together and lifting your pelvic floor up.
All right, so can I do some breath work with you? So let's just start the breath work number 1.
So breath work number 1. So
can I do it while I'm sitting like that?
You can do it while you're sitting. I like everyone to go on all fours, but you can do it while you're sitting.
No, I can go on all fours. But no, I'll try to do it first sitting.
Okay. So you're on the inhale. You are going to.
Daisy, you also do it on the side.
Yes.
While you guys are sitting,
allow all the air to come in. You want to fill up your ribs like it's expanding. So place your hands right here, your thumbs on the back of your rib cage, your 4 fingers on the front to feel the expansion. So take a nice inhale and think about expanding your ribs out, expanding your chest forward, and expanding your back, getting that back extension. So a nice inhale. You're letting all that air in. And on the exhale, you're squeezing everything out. Purse your lips and you're gonna blow it like this. So you wanna make sounds when you breathe in order to really get that back body expansion. So inhale, and on the exhale, a forceful breath of air. And what that's gonna do, it's gonna engage your pelvic floor, engage your lower abdominals, your mid, and your uppers. You don't wanna have any gripping right here. So you wanna just inhale everything in, and on the exhale, you're squeezing everything together. Now that's how the breath part works. You wanna also incorporate your pelvic floor. So on the inhale, you're inhaling everything in, relaxing your pelvic floor. On the exhale, you can do a little Kegel to get that pelvic floor to come up. As soon as you start your Kegel, 30% in, your lowers are already connected. Now squeeze up, up, up. Try and squeeze out all the air.
You gotta say that again.
Okay, so inhale.
Inhale, 1 second, I have to remove my shawl because I can't. This is like, all right.
Inhale. Exhale. You're gonna think of all the air coming out and compressing. So if you think of your diaphragm as like a canister, right? So you inhale and inhale, you let the pressure out. Exhale, everything comes up. So inhale, pressure down. Exhale, everything comes up. So on the inhale, you're filling your whole body up with the air. On the exhale, you're squeezing out, exhaling, letting all the air out of your lungs, squeezing the corset that you have on your own inside your body. And that's really going to help you. You're going to have to practice. It's difficult.
So a lot of people don't breathe the Kegel, right way. You know, where do you incorporate the Kegel?
So
on the exhale?
On the exhale. So a Kegel is a lifting and like a tension basically on your pelvic floor. So on the
Kegel
exhale,
is like when you are, if you're trying to hold your pee while you're trying to find a bathroom, closest bathroom. So that's a Kegel.
Or, yes, and I like to think of, so like I said, men,
you know, a lot of people need that understanding. Okay.
For the men that are listening, this is only going to be for your butthole. But for the women, you want to think about your vaginal opening, your urethra, and your butthole. And at the same time, think about when you breathe in, you're letting air into these places, right? And on the exhale, you're sucking everything back up. So I like to think of a little straw.
No, say that again. Say that again.
Say what again?
Where do you want the little straw to be?
So for everyone, right? So let's do the back pelvic floor muscles.
Okay.
So the back pelvic floor muscles comes through your anus. Yeah. So you want to think of a straw and like you're sucking up a blueberry up your butthole with a straw to really engage those muscles. Oh. So can you feel that?
Oh, you're sucking up a
blueberry up your butt. Can you feel it? Try doing it. Try doing it.
Sucking up your own like poop. I can imagine my blueberry up my butt, but I can.
Yeah, you'll feel the lift of your back pelvic floor muscles. In your front pelvic floor muscles. Men, I want you to think of getting into really cold water, and you're your balls pull up, right?
Yes.
That's the same thing. That's like for women, you want to think of, or the stop of urination, the same.
Yeah.
So that's going to be your front pelvic floor muscles coming up. So when you do a Kegel, you really want to incorporate the front and back to lift them. So that's what you're going to do.
Kegel is both back and front.
Because your pelvic floor is back and front. So your pelvic floor has the front pelvic floor and the back pelvic floor. So a lot of
if you have like when you have diarrhea, so you can, it's like
when you want to stop it.
When you want to stop the diarrhea, so that's like back and front.
Yeah.
You have to, because it's liquid.
Yeah.
And it's like an emergency.
Well,
your rectum does not.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay.
So always on the exhale, and on the exertion, you're lifting. So a lot of people can only lift their front or can only lift their back, or you'll find tightness or weakness in one area or the other. So it's good to think about both sides, so you can both do an extension and a relax.
If somebody has a surgery, for instance, like a lot of guys have prostate problems, and so what would you recommend? The same Kegels?
Yeah, it's still the mind to muscle connection, so you're still going to be
the both front and back.
Yes.
All right. Can we do the breath work again now? Now that I understand the Kegel a little bit better, so not just
on the inhale, you're doing the back body expansion. So you want to really make sure that you have air that's filling up in the back, in your lungs, and you're getting that expansion. And on the exhale, everything is coming together. So you want to cinch your waist. Exhale all the air out of your lungs, so everything comes together. So inhale, relax. Exhale, contract. So the same thing with your pelvic floor. So your breath work and your pelvic floor works together. So inhale, bring everything in, and your pelvic floor is relaxing on that inhale. Exhale, you're contracting your pelvic floor as you contract all of your abdominals and you let all of that air out of your lungs. I'm gonna try one.
Yes.
Okay.
I think I almost did it.
I do. So
I almost did it
on
right.
all fours.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, so this is...
You see your back body
expansion. So this is... All right.
So you could have your... Whatever's comfortable for you. So you could have your toes pointed towards you, or you could have them flat on the ground. So you want to inhale. Really make sure that you're filling up your back with air. So exhale.
Nice. Nice. Do you suggest curving your upper waist, or is it?
You could do a soft C curve. I like to keep a soft C curve in your spine to protect it. So, really letting all the air out. I like to have my clients do 30 of them in the morning and 30 of them at night.
30?
30.
Wow.
Every day.
Wow, I'll fall asleep.
No.
In
it's
between.
good. Yeah, it relaxes you.
Yeah,
the breath work definitely helps relax you.
Yeah.
But it's really good because you help manage pressure and you help manage all of your day-to-day things by breathing the right way. Because a lot of people are doing shallow breaths. With shallow breaths, you're not getting the air anywhere. You're not doing any type of extension in your body either.
It helps you stretch also, kind of.
Everything helps, yeah. Everything
Yeah,
helps.
nice.
You move all your movements with your breath work. Any exercises you're doing, you should be focused on your breath work. It's really important to breathe the right way in order to effectively manage pressure in your body and in your mind. It's good for your
Yes,
mind
absolutely.
too. Yeah.
It helps you,
It does.
of course. I mean, if anything, it helps your raise your blood oxygen levels, and your brain is going to work better.
Yeah.
You know, I have two people who just recently gave birth in our office. So one is Daisy, who's watching you very carefully. And then my other girl is Lorena, who's also, she's going through a C-section tomorrow, I think.
Oh, wow.
And so we wish Lorena all the best.
Tomorrow?
Yes. I think she's already in the hospital. But anyway, so what would you suggest? So my very important question is like, what would you suggest to somebody who's about to give birth?
Yeah.
So what are they may not be able to go on all fours.
Yeah.
Like how to do, and then also by like for instance Daisy, who is now past her, her baby is now how young is he? He looks.
He's gonna be
He's almost an adult. He's 6 months. He's like almost an adult. He's eating food. So what would you suggest her? But what would you suggest to somebody who's like about to go into
someone who's about to give birth? You're gonna laugh, but it's breath work. So when you do the breath work while you're pregnant, I don't have the belly with me. I wish I had someone to show, but it's called like hugging the baby. So you hug the baby in and up. So you're working on that breath work. So the inhale and on the exhale, you're going to hug that baby in and up. Working on that breath work is going to keep all of your muscles still working. It's going to help you for childbirth, and it's going to help you keep less pressure, basically, on your pelvic floor and on your body. Yeah.
So hold the baby.
It's called hugging the baby.
Hugging the baby on exhaling.
Yes, so an inhale, you relax. Exhale, you'll see, and on my clients who are pregnant, you'll see their belly come up and in.
Yes.
So that's like hugging the baby up and in, and that's a great exercise for someone who's about to give birth, someone who's pregnant, and someone who needs to manage pressure.
Okay, and contractions and stuff. All right, and then after pregnancy, what are the things that how would you, the same breath work? You could start. I mean, first you want to take care of yourself, take care of your baby, enjoy your time. You could definitely work on breath work postpartum. A lot of people have their 6-week follow-up to see if they're cleared for exercise. Many times people are not ready to be cleared for exercise at 6 weeks. So you want to make sure during those 6 weeks leading up to before you go back into any type of regular routine that you work on your breath work and you work on your pressure and your pelvic floor and see a pelvic floor physical therapist. It would be really helpful. So how soon should somebody see a physical therapist for the pelvic floor?
I would say, I think it's around 6 weeks.
At 6 weeks?
Yeah, you could see something around.
And then what basic exercises would you suggest to somebody?
Yeah.
If, for instance, my insurance is not covering, what basic exercises would you suggest? I mean, thank you for volunteering this. This is amazing. You're benefiting God knows how many people with this because we do get hundreds of views, and we also send you're also on my Muggle rounds, and we offer it. So we're just like, putting this out there for people. So a lot of definitely my clients are watching this as voluntary information that they can do on top of some of the treatments that we do. Because I tell them that, you'll come to an anti-aging center and get a laser or this or that, but bulk of your work is at home yourself. It's like you can go to a dentist one day, but that doesn't absolve you from brushing your teeth every day, twice a day, hopefully. And also flossing and doing all the other things that you need to do for your teeth. So similarly, any other part of the body is also needs home care. So are there any exercises that you would tell like a new mom to do herself at home? So can you go over 1, 2, 3?
I can. So I do like to assess someone after they've given birth. There's a few things I like to check for. One thing I like to check for is diastasis recti, which is the separation of the abs. 100% of fully term pregnant women have ab separation. A lot of people, it'll safely heal on their own. Some people need some assistance. So I do like to check that out. I do an assessment to check for any type of rib flaring. So when you're pregnant, I know I have a terrible rib flare that I've actually self-corrected over the past few months using bands. No corset. You use your inner corset. So your transverse abdominals, your lower abs, your rectus abdominis, all of these abs work as your own inner corset, and by doing proper breath work on that exhale, you're able to engage your inner corset yourself. So that's really helped. I also have bands that I use with my clients. You could stretch them and they will help you bring your ribs back into alignment. And really when you're doing exercises, I like to focus on keeping your ribs closed and down on the mat when we're doing any type of abdominal exercises. A lot of people, if they're not breathing right, if they have some rib flare, you'll see their ribs pop up. You see this all the time, the ribs pop up. So I'm constantly cueing, close your ribs, close your ribs. And by closing your ribs, that's what happens on the exhale, because you're squeezing everything together. Another thing with postpartum women is you get a lot of hip issues. So because of your hip issues, a lot of women complain about not having a butt after pregnancy. Their butt disappears, and it's
Daisy's butt has become bigger.
Yes.
Yes.
Daisy,
show us your butt. Oh, anyway,
so you want to turn those glutes back on. So what you have to do is you have to incorporate a lot of like hip opening exercises, hip strength training, and a lot of glute exercises to turn those muscles back on, because we're turned out a lot in pregnancy. We have a lot of pressure down here, so it causes our butts, for lack of a better word, to kind of look like they deflate. So some of the...
So it's like a posture correction too, in a way.
Posture correction.
I see. Because you've been like walking like this and then
I have more
like
of an anterior pelvic tilt now. So my pelvis is like I'm turned out like this. Some people have posterior ones where they're like this. You want to kind of be in neutral.
Okay.
So I have to be mindful of that myself because I have a big curve on my back.
All right.
So that I do a lot of different exercises too that work both your abs and your lower butt bottom at the same time. So glute bridges, hip bridges, single leg bridges. I incorporate a lot of those exercises along with your breath work, because it works not only your abdominals but your glutes.
Okay. Would you share some exercises again? I know every time you come, I want to ask you and look at it again, because every time I get so many new insights with some of your exercises.
So the first one is always going to be breath work. That is always your first most important exercise. It's going to take you far in life.
All right.
The next one I always like to do is toe taps. So you want to lie down and center yourself on the mat, arms long at your sides with your knees bent up.
Okay, I'm trying to, let me see if I can arrange the camera for you so we can capture as much of this in detail.
Your knees into tabletop.
Okay.
Flex your feet.
Nice.
And you are going to do heel taps, toe taps. So you're going to think about lowering from your abs, not your legs. You're lowering from your abs.
I see.
I'll start on this side first. So you engage, inhale, exhale, and feel that engagement to the muscle, right? So you feel your lower legs turns on. This is what is going to be holding your leg out. So this muscle is what's holding my leg out, right?
I see.
So you're going to use this muscle to lower, lower, lower.
And lift, until you tip. Oh, I see. So you touch the floor.
Lower, lower. You don't have to touch. You go as far as you can without your bottom popping off the mat. So you want your tailbone, you want your hips down on the mat. You do not want to move them. So you can only go as far as you can.
Okay.
So you only want to go as far as you can by keeping your hips stable, your core connected, and you're really reaching out. So you want to think about reaching out more and lengthening than coming down. And you'll feel this all here. So those are good to do. So I like to do single leg. Then the next one you can do is you draw your legs up.
Okay.
Take your hands, fingertips to wrists, place them behind your head.
Okay.
Heels together, toes apart. You're going to lower your legs, and now you're using your abdominals to lower your legs. So this is not about your legs. This is about your abs.
I see.
Lower down to 45 degrees and lift back up. Lower, lower, lower. Lift, lift, lift.
I see.
Lower, lower, lower. Lift, lift, lift. So you're not just moving your legs. You're on your inhale and your exhale. When you contract these abs, your abs is really what's holding your legs up to the ceiling and helping them come back down.
I see. I see.
The next one I like to do is glute bridges. So for new postpartum, I don't use any props, but I do like using props for you.
From your forehead. Yes. From her freshly done
so
blow, right?
Lay down stable on the mat, arms long at your sides. You're going to curl your tailbone off the mat until you're up into a pelvic lift.
You know, this is
then you're
interesting.
Then roll back down, bone by bone, starting with your upper back until you get your tailbone nice and flat on the mat.
I see.
So
can you say
inhale to roll up.
That's an inhale. Okay.
Exhale to roll down.
I see.
Or you could inhale, prep. Exhale, curl your tail and roll up to your shoulder blades.
Nice.
Inhale to prep. Exhale, roll back down, bone by bone, really pressing into the mat. So this is going to work on some spinal mobility. It'll work your glutes, and it's working your abdominals as well.
I see. I see.
And then I like to do, so those were pelvic lifts. And I like to just do glute bridges with one leg up.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Do one leg up. They're just really, They're small.
I see.
And this turns on your abs. It turns on your glutes. Your glute medius is working. And as you're doing this, you want to just also feel like a press out into your hips. So you turn on the side.
Perfect. And so this is how many exercises have you shown us? 4. And number 5?
Let me see. What would be good for
4? How many times each?
So it depends. You want to aim for like 10, 8 to 10. And then you could increase it as you get better to it to about 12 to 15. I like to do 4 sets of each one.
Nice. And you also do some work with the ball.
Yes.
So the ball we don't have, but the next time we're gonna do your.
The
so you recommend ladies buy a ball?
Yeah, you can have a ball. You could use a roll-up towel. You can use.
We can give you a towel.
You could use a pillow.
Oh, you can use a pillow. All right.
You can use a pillow. So this is a good one because your inner thighs and your pelvic floor are extremely connected. So using this, using something in between your knees, it stabilizes your hips. As soon as I'm squeezing this, oh, I feel it, the connection to my inner thighs already. Inner thighs, pelvic floor, and you squeeze it to come up. So now everything's stable. With the one leg too, you do this.
Oh, so you keep a... You know, I feel that the pillow will be way more stable to do.
It's whatever you can use that kind of just keeps you stable. You can roll up a towel. I do like using the ball.
So when you say do the breath work, do you do breath work initially before you do anything else, or is it
goes through? It's through all of your exercises. So when I'm training someone, I'm cueing the inhale and the exhale. So the exhale is usually on exertion, and the inhale is your prep. So you're inhaling to prep and exhaling whatever exertion you need to do.
I see. So what are these?
This is just resistance bands I like to use, but not really for postpartum. It depends.
Okay.
But those lower lifts that
for somebody like me,
yeah, you could. Well, no, I would still start slow with you,
and
then go. But you could hook this on to something that's stable, and you could use it behind you as you do those lower lifts. So you're going to be holding on for tension on the band, and the tension just adds like a little extra to the exercise. Really makes you focus on working your core.
I see. So it just. So can you show some movements? I can hold it for you.
Yeah, it was just. I guess, yeah.
Yes, just let me hold it because I'll just. Okay, so this is. Okay, so it has to be also for your back. All right, I'm gonna sit here. All right. Okay, there you go.
So you're holding tension. So knees bent. You're going to pull on this for tension. Curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Legs to tabletop. And you can do those heel lowers.
So it should be a
the
really
tension is on the upper body. You're keeping your upper body quiet, and you're really just engaging your lower abs to lower those heels down. And you really feel it.
I can feel it. I can feel it.
You really feel it. So that tension helps stabilize your upper body, and it helps you really focus on working those core muscles.
If you ever need to film and
have
someone hold, I'll definitely offer my services. Actually, I really like that one.
I do. So yeah, I use this for a lot of different exercises.
You know, maybe you could do. Maybe we can do it from the front door.
Yeah,
at least that handle.
With these, you could do upper body workouts, lower body workouts. Resistance bands are really great. Also, for a lot of postpartum moms, what I like doing is chest openers. So a lot of moms, I'm going to show you. A lot of moms, you're always hunched over, right?
Yes, me.
So you're breastfeeding, you're sitting. Even if you're bottle feeding, you're feeding the baby. Every mom, you want to think about bringing the baby up to you. So wherever you're sitting, breastfeeding, whatever, you want to elevate the baby to your breast. You want to elevate the baby to the bottle. You don't want to be hunched over like this. You'll have a lot of pain. You have a lot of pain there too. You have a lot of pain. So you want to really focus on doing chest openers, opening up your chest, and strengthening all the muscles around here. So you want to strengthen your serratus anterior. These muscles are really going to help you open up your chest. I like using bands. These are some nice chest openers.
Yeah.
Like this.
Oh.
Forward and back.
Oh.
These are nice ones. You could hook a band around.
Around
hold
what?
this for 1 second.
Yes. Yes.
And with your palms down, you just do some pull-ins.
I see.
You do what? Ooh, did you hear my chest crack?
Yeah.
Turn.
Yeah.
I like doing these.
Okay.
Turn your head, come back.
Oh.
Turn your head, come
It will
back.
help with,
It's a lot, yeah.
it will help with the jawline. It will help with the jawline, guys.
You want to always think about your shoulders, roll them down
Yes.
away from your ears, putting your shoulder blades down your back to really keep that nice posture. And also, a lot of things, you want to make sure that your posture is right. So a lot of people after pregnancy are like this, the anterior pelvic tilt, like this, right?
Yeah.
I was like this, so I have to be constant.
They
Remind myself to stand straight. Other people have a posterior pelvic tilt, so they're like this.
Yeah.
Kind of want to be somewhere neutral.
Yeah.
If you're tucking too much, you're going to cause a lot of pressure on your pelvic floor. If you're out a lot, you're going to be causing pressure on your pelvic floor, your hips, and you're all messed up. So you want to just kind of remain neutral. A lot of people who complain about stomach issues or that their stomach looks too big, sometimes it's because they're like this and they're sticking their stomach out. They don't even realize. You just, if you stand a little straighter, everything comes down straight. So that was an issue that I had found out too, along with my training. That I was like, oh, sugar, like this is part of my fault. So it causes a lot of pressure. So you want to also work on some types of chest.
Yes, I hunch because I'm always injecting and doing different things. So
Another good one.
So I do need to do that.
Swan, right? So you're gonna lay down on the mat, on your belly. You're gonna press your inner thighs into the mat. Press your feet into the mat. Place your hands underneath. Place your hands on your forehead.
Okay.
You're going to press everything down, right? Shoulders away from your ears.
Nice.
Inhale, anchor your pelvis. Exhale, deepen your abdominals and lift your upper body up.
Oh.
Inhale to slowly lower.
Oh,
so
I see, guys. I hope you guys can
your
see.
Pelvis. Exhale, engage those abdominals and lift your upper body.
Nice, nice.
So this is a nice expansion that you get through your chest. That swan prep.
Yes.
So that would be a really nice exercise for anyone who is newly postpartum. And then you could do, this is a good one. Hold on. I'm going to need you to hold this again.
Yes, I will. I am the...
You can do it if you're laying down too, right? So sit there for 1 second. Okay. So if you're laying down, so you want to anchor yourself into the mat. Oop, these aren't long enough. These aren't long enough. But basically, if you have a longer one, you're pressing back like this.
Oh, I see.
So press back, and you're pressing your chest forward. So press back and press your chest forward. But you could do it while you're lying down like this too, and come all the way up. But if you just hook it around, you just want to press your chest forward and think about drawing your shoulder blades down. Nice. This is a really nice, you'll feel a nice stretch in your whole front body. Nice. That's really going to help open you up. So newly postpartum women, I like to work on both of those because it's a lot of hunching.
Yeah. And the breastfeeding.
Yeah, breastfeeding, bottle feeding, anything. Yeah. A lot of sitting. Yeah. So you want to make sure that it's hard and annoying, I know, but that your posture is right and you're always, always, always constantly bringing the baby up to you instead of coming down to the baby.
How many days do you say how many times in a day they're supposed to do this twice?
I like for everyone who's just starting to learn it, twice a day, morning and night, 30 breaths.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great.
And then I think that would be super.
You do it while you're sitting. You could do it while you're in bed. Yeah. You could do it. You don't really want to make a habit of it of doing it, but like when you're laying down or something, you want to carve out some time for yourself. But it also helps relax and prep you for bed. Yeah. In the morning, it helps prep you for your day. Yeah. So it's a nice thing to habit stack if you want.
Yeah. No, it's a great tell me how people can get in touch with you. Do you do it professionally for people yet? And you guide them?
Yeah.
So can you do it on Zoom for some?
I like being in person because I like to assess the person first. Yeah. So a lot of my clients I like to see in person first. I like to assess their body, how they walk, what their gait is. Any type of body things, and then I can help cue them and work on their problem areas, and then from there, Zoom is okay to do.
It's fine.
Yeah, but I've also taught people over Zoom. I can do the assessments via Zoom.
Okay.
You would just have to hold your phone up. So I've had moms hold their phone up like this for me so I could see their rib flare, or hold their phone, and I've had them do their own exams on them to see how the ab separation is, how many fingers.
How long does it take to recover from ab separation and rib flare?
It really depends on the person. So it depends on how hard you're working. I can't really say.
How long did it take you?
It took me, so once I started working on the rib flare, it took me a month or so to really get everything to come back in where I saw changes, but I'm still working on it. So I still have a little rib flare on this side. That's definitely come down, but because I am who I am, like I see it still.
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta fix that.
She's a perfectionist. Okay, guys, does this make your back wider?
Does it make your back what?
Wider.
Lighter?
Wider.
Oh, wider? No.
I mean, your ass. It doesn't make your ass bigger.
Your back is not going to get wider or bigger from doing these exercises. It would get more toned. You're lengthening out your muscles. In order to get a wider back, you would really have to put in some heavy hours in the gym, eat a lot of protein and food, and really try and muscle build. I weightlift, and I still haven't gotten a wider back.
Somebody's sending a lot of thank yous. Does a rib flare get fixed on its own? Does your abdomen ever get back together on its own? Okay, you already answered.
Yeah.
Get back together on its own. Okay, you already answered.
Yeah.
Get back together on its own. Okay, you already answered.
Yeah. So they're doing things like that. Maybe it could get fixed, but a rib flare, from what I've seen, is something that needs some attention to. And you need to work on it.
All right.
It's really about making sure those ribs are closed and down.
All right.
How do you know you have them? You see your ribs sticking out?
Yeah, you can see your
flare.
Daisy, show me. Are your ribs sticking
I
out?
don't think so.
Can you check? Can you evaluate? Imagine. Yes.
Oh, they down?
Now it's time. Yes,
On your back.
it's time for Daisy to now our lady.
Exhale. Can I touch you? Inhale. Exhale.
We're getting a.
Your ribs look okay.
She's not
They
fading.
feel a little bit up here, but you're only 6 months postpartum. That's normal.
No. Yeah.
That's normal.
Okay.
Yeah, she gave birth in June.
In June,
How are you feeling?
Tired.
She feels tired.
You don't really have much of a rib flare.
So
you have this, which is like normal, like they flare out, but that's normal. So was your baby under your ribs a lot? Like, did you feel baby under your ribs?
Oh, Daisy removed her baby like this. She was like, I can't talk.
I had a more round
belly
for my second one.
Yeah.
It was more high up.
Yeah.
Very hard.
So it wouldn't have been as much because I had mine why it took so long to
And
run.
he liked to be on this side more.
My son was on this side, but like right under my rib, so it was popped when I was pregnant too, when I saw it. But your ribs feel normal to me.
Okay.
Yeah, they feel good.
See, now I was touching.
I know, but he's really good. He sleeps through the night.
Yeah,
he's like
through the night.
She's very fortunate.
And the babies are
so
so good.
Thank God.
Yeah, but I'm not there.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I hope this helps. This information helps you guys. Remember, these are exercises. The ones Nicole is showing us, everyone can do, men as well as women. And the breathing exercises are going to be a boon for your pelvic health, regardless, because as you get older, all your muscles and ligaments kind of need that extra care. And yes, when you go to an anti-aging center, we do have some machines that can help you fortify some of your anti-aging results. But most of these treatments have to be combined with exercises and routine maintenance at home, just to give you better results throughout your lifespan, not just for the 2 days that you're young. Guys, if you have any other questions, Nicole is going to be coming back probably in another next month. She's going to be my guest here again, and we would be ready for more questions. And you will be able to see important parts of these exercises later on my channel also. All right. Nicole, can you please tell me where people can follow you?
Yes, I have
on TikTok
and TikTok, The Pelvic Pro.
The Pelvic Pro. So not that hard. And I'm gonna tag her in under here. Do you have a YouTube channel?
I don't.
Let's make one.
Yeah.
Let's make one today. Okay, bye guys. Love you and see you soon.